Keeping It Real TV, walking the halls of Colorado high schools. I'm Kendall B from the KS1075 Morning Show, and it's about to get really real in a little bit. We're going to take you up and show you the beautiful sights from above, from the air, and show you our friend Dylan taking his second flying lesson. That is coming up, but right now, dating. Always a problem, no matter if you're 25, 35, 15, 18. Dating is a huge issue. Well, a teen dating class at Broomfield High School tried to debunk some of the myths of dating, trying to show young people how to communicate with each other, how to make sure that they're treating each other right when they're out on a date, and just how to relax and not to be all awkward and silly when you're out dating. Let's show you the teen dating class at Broomfield High School.
Well, I'm going to ask all three of you this question. Why don't guys want to commit to one girl for very long?
This is a class that I put together for teens in high school, particularly seniors and juniors, so that they can get some information on dating, because there's really no place for them to go to learn about the opposite sex and to learn about dating, especially at their age, when it's all brand new to them, and girls aren't understanding why boys aren't calling when they say they're going to, and guys don't understand why girls have to tell so many details of all the story and want to talk so much. And so I developed this program in a fun, interactive way so that they could learn about the opposite sex and have fun doing it.
It's very interesting to think about, because, you know, when kids are coming up and, you know, getting into, you know, being interested in the opposite sex, they don't think about, you know, like most of the stuff that's going to go on and like how they're going to act. They're just like, you know, they don't know what's going on. They're just figuring it out, you know, they're having a good time. They're in high school.
As if you care, I haven't heard from you in weeks.
I've been really busy with work.
Yeah, sure. Did I do anything wrong? Do you still care?
I felt like the fight that the skit was about was something that happens every day. I mean, guys not calling girls and girls getting upset about it. And it gave us two ways to kind of solve the situation. So it's really realistic.
Guys and girls aren't that different. It's just girls kind of show it and guys don't want to, because guys kind of analyze everything too.
I never knew that how girls are so indecisive is such a big deal, but now I know.
I think girls want to be honest but are slightly afraid of that, and guys want to be honest but are slightly afraid of that, so they're the same in that way. You're fearing something, or you want something to go the way you want it, and you don't want to be the one to look like an idiot, so you kind of have to choose which way to go.
Full out, just adoring a woman, showering her with gifts, just being there for her in any way that you possibly can is 200 miles an hour. It's just a joy to come in here and be able to interact with these kids, have a lot of fun, know that they learned something and had fun learning it, and that the hope is that they will make better choices in their life, which will, in the end, make them happier.
Teen dating. I can remember back when I was a teenager and I was dating one beautiful young lady who never called me back. I should have had the class. Anyway, hey, let's have
Janice Hoffman is with us, speaker and author, and she's a relationship and media expert. Her most recent publication, I got the book, is entitled Relationship Rules, 12 Strategies for Creating a Love That Will Last. Also on the phone with us in Phoenix, where it's raining tonight, doctor, and she's a PhD or an ED, Mary Lou, Relationship Rules. Welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
How does this work? You too. Here it is, Relationship Rules, 12 strategies for creating a love that lasts. What's the number one rule?
Number one rule? Well, there were actually about 50 rules, and I narrowed them down to 12. So all of them are pretty important, but one of my favorites is take responsibility for your own happiness. And I think this is one of the things that happens in relationships is we look to our partner to make us happy. Maybe our partner even says, I'm here for you. You don't have to worry about a thing. I'll take care of everything. And we relax into that that comfort of thinking that they'll take care of everything, but we also tend to think that they'll be there to make us happy all the time, and when we're not happy, we start to think, well, I was happy before you arrived on the scene, now I'm not happy, so it must be your fault.
Of course.
Instead of looking at what our part was in whatever happened that made us unhappy.
What's the statistics on marriage? Is it you hear 1 in 2 fail? Is that
Right.
about right?
It's still about 50% for first marriages and 70% for second marriages.
Woo. Those aren't good odds.
Those are not good odds.
So 1 in 2 people who are, like you just got married, is this the first time or second time?
This is second.
So she has a 70% chance of failure?
I would think it would get
Statistically,
better.
she has a 70% chance of failure. I tend to think people in Colorado are a little bit more enlightened and more aware and more focused on relationships.
Around the table, what's number 1 cause of divorce to the best of your knowledge?
I think it's communication.
People don't talk.
Yeah.
Have you been married before? Now you're engaged.
No.
No. So this is first flight.
Right.
You're a 2 to 1.
That's not good odds.
No, it's not good odds. Well, why do people get divorced?
Well, I think like what Dottie said, communication's a big factor and people just not working at the relaulationship.
Okay. Dr. Fun, why do people get divorced?
Well, all of my work is built around how the media myths and stereotypes create a lot of unrealistic expectations that make
Everybody
us
just nodded at
unhappy.
this table when you
so
said
I'd
that.
have to say what everybody said is correct, but those are among my 12 myths and stereotypes. I definitely agree with Janice. One of my prescriptions, one of my Dr. Galician's prescriptions is cultivate your own completeness. But I'd have to say that we have quite a variety of major mass media myths and stereotypes
it's
all
interesting.
grown up with.
Yeah.
And most of us have extremely unrealistic expectations about communication, about sex, about sharing of
All
responsibility,
right, what about sex?
about all kind of things.
All right, what's the expectation about sex that isn't real?
Well, you can go to my website, www.realisticromance.com, and take my Dr. Fun's Mass Media Love Quiz, and you'll see 12 myths and stereotypes.
Okay, I don't have time to do
What
that.
about sex is, if your partner is truly meant for you, sex is easy and wonderful. That's how it always is in books, in romance novels, in television, and in movies. Everything always works out perfectly, and how come my nose gets in the way and your braces and all kinds of things, and there's no music in the background in real life?
Whoa. All right. What's the number 1 reason? And by the way, you nodded your head when the
They did a
doctor
study at the
mentioned.
University of Colorado, and that was what they came up with. The number 1 reason was unrealistic expectations.
For instance, I thought this was going to be fun.
I think we look to our partner to fill all our needs. Before women entered the workplace, women got their emotional needs met with other women because we didn't work outside the home, and now we work. Men work. We don't have the time to spend with our circle of friends, and so we look to men for that emotional support. And men are like, emotional what? And so they've been given a job description that they may not even be comfortable with, and yet this is what we're expecting from men today.
All right, real quick, we got jammed up lines. What's different about dating now than, say, a decade ago or 2 decades ago?
Women are a lot more aggressive.
Oh, wow.
Women have become more like men than ever before. We've learned very well from men.
Guys taught you well. So when you say aggressive, like a woman will ask a guy out.
Oh, she'll call a guy, she'll ask a guy out, she'll initiate sex, you name it.
Dr. Fun, what's changed in 10 to 20 years? All right, what would you like to ask? What would you like to ask anybody here?
I would like to ask Ms. Hoffman. Number 1, I didn't get the title of her book. I'd like to go and buy it.
There it is.
Okay. Really? Okay. What is it?
It's entitled Relationship Rules.
Okay.
And it's $17. It's in paper, and I'm sure it's around town.
Tattered Cover, Amazon.
Tattered Cover has it. Amazon has it.
Okay. Fantastic. And the question I would like to ask Ms. Hoffman is, what does she see in women that we can, is there something we need to change? Do we need to redirect our thinking when it comes to dating or look at our expectations? One of the things I was always criticized about is that I had high demands, and I thought, well,
right.
because that's
because
the
of
type
full
person
lines?
I am, and I don't want to lower my standards.
Okay, full line, stop there. Yes, ma'am.
One of the things I think we need to realize is that we're asking men to do something that they've never had to do before, and that is to give us emotional support. And what that looks like is listening to us talk about what's bothering us without giving us advice. One of the complaints I hear from women a lot is, I tell him what's bothering me and I really just need to talk, but he tries to fix me. So one of the things you can do is you can say to your partner, I really need about 10 minutes just to tell you what's bothering me, and you don't need to do anything, you don't need to fix me, I just need you to listen. Would this be a good time? And when you ask your partner, especially laying it out like that for a man, he knows what his job description is then, because men typically will go right into fix-it mode. That's their nature, just like women's nature is to be nurturing and caretaking. And when they know what their job description is, to just listen, then they can give you what you need.
Hey, Dee Dee, thank you, man. Good first call. Thanks.
Thank you.
Let's go here. This is Jane. Hey, Jane, good evening. What do you say to her? It's a great chance.
I think at 55, men and women are looking for different things. You know, when we're younger, I think men are more looking for the really good-looking women, and women have their list of what they want in a husband. And when you hit the 50s, it seems to change. People are more interested in a companion, someone they have common interests with, someone they can get along with. The sex isn't quite as important. So you try the internet, you could try speed dating, go to events that interest you.
Have you made matches for people like this?
Oh, absolutely. I've got clients ranging all the way up to 79 years old. I think it's really important to put yourself out there.
I've noticed that the over 50 crowd aren't so much interested in remarrying. They're more interested, like I was saying, in a companion. And sometimes by the time somebody, especially when you've been married for 20 years and you're single and you're on your own now and you think about your age and all the things that you haven't done because you were raising a family. And sometimes, especially for a man, he might think that if he gets in a relationship, he won't be able to do the things that he's always wanted to do. So maybe it's better to just date and be able to accomplish those things he wants to accomplish and not get married.
And I also think that the reasons for getting married change.
But that's not fair, because men say whatever makes you happy, and then when you tell them what makes you happy, sometimes they're like, well, but
doesn't make
I
me
didn't
happy.
mean, and you know, that's the thing with dating. People put on their profiles, I want someone who's good looking, someone who likes the outdoors, someone who has a good sense of humor. Well, who doesn't want someone who's intelligent? No, I want someone who never wants to go outside,
Wait a minute,
but ugly,
wait
and can't write or read. I mean, everybody has the same profile. So yeah.
Well, excuse me, you're making assumptions.
Jump in. I think what might be interesting to hear is what is it about some of these women who are not late.
And if your list is so strict that a woman can't even fit into the crack that you've made for her to fit into,
Sick 'em, Janice.
you know, you set your standards pretty high, and you set it yourself. That
if I'm gonna hook you up with the cougar lady. Good night, man. All right, we got to do this show again. All right, this is Linda. Linda, you're on the show. Good evening.
Good evening, and St. Valentine's Day.
Very good. All right, Janice, you're first.
I think if you have children, especially if they're children at home, it's important to date somebody who has children, because if you date someone who's never had children before, when you have changes in the schedule and when you have to have your kids when it's not your night to have them and it's their night to be with their ex, you need to have somebody who's going to be understanding of those changes in the schedule and when you have to cancel at the last minute.
And I appreciate that, but also I appreciate that I have older, intelligent children. I recognize they do not have father participation in their life. I'm essentially the only parent.
Sure.
And so what my question is, what suggestions or strategies can you provide your insight and expertise to help me with
Let's
this,
go to
make
the
it
doctor.
better?
Let's go to the doctor in Arizona. Doc?
Okay, well, my work again and my books and my website and all are all about the impact of me.
And reassuring them that just because you're dating, that you'll still be there for them, and that they're still number one in your life. A lot of kids feel threatened, and teenagers in the high school years.
Yeah, it's the toughest time.
I've raised 3 teenagers.
I have quite a few clients with,
Yes. Thoughts. You're terrific.
Oh, thank you. Well, callers and viewers can go to my website. It's the same as my book, relationshiprules.com, and you can sign up for my weekly relationship tip and learn all about relationships on a weekly basis. And
You turned some heads tonight. That was good stuff. Here is that book, and you can find it for everybody. And Ms. Valentine, I didn't know where the show was going to go, and actually we should do a follow-up on this. You guys were all terrific. Thank you so much. Everybody.